guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa, and if you're new here, please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to learn more about astrology, learn more about the Mars signs of different placements. We're going to go ahead and continue with Mars in Cancer. So if you're unsure what your Mars sign is or what your placement is, or if you've never even looked up your birth chart ever, please be sure you do that. And I have provided a link in all of my videos where you can go ahead and check that out for free. You will need your birth time and your birthplace as well as your birth date. So please make sure that you look up your birth chart so you can find out all of your planets. What does Mars signify in the chart? Mars is about how you take action. It's about how you direct yourself in certain situations where you need to take action and where you're dealing with conflict, dealing with confrontation, and it also shows how you deal with anger and how you express your anger, how you go about trying to get what you want. If you are an initiator, or if you are very direct with your actions and direct with what it is that you want, your Mars sign is going to show all that. It can also indicate your sexuality, what excites you, what turns you on, what type of male you're attracted to, if you are attracted to males, or if you are a male, what your masculinity really looks like, or how you express that. So Mars in Cancer, what does it mean to have your Mars in Cancer? Mars in Cancer people are not the most direct of individuals. If they are angered, or if they're upset about something, or if they feel threatened, they're not going to try to fight you. They're not going to be very open with their anger. They're not going to probably not even show very directly that they are affected by what you've done or the situation or the circumstance. They're most likely going to give you subtle hints about it, about how they're feeling. They're very sensitive. Although they are sensitive, they don't always show it because Cancer is the sign of the crab and they have this shell around them, and they have a hard protective shell in order to preserve and secure themselves within, because they are soft and they are sensitive on the inside. Mars in Cancer people can be a little bit nervous or defensive whenever they feel threatened. And of course, it's their natural instinct is to protect themselves. They are very self-protective, and once they feel threatened or like somebody's attacking them, the first thing they're going to want to do is to protect themselves and like defend themselves. And so because of that, even though you might not be directly trying to hurt them, other people might take them as taking things too personally, as a little bit too self-defensive and a little bit self-righteous in taking things too personally, and them feeling like they have to like unnecessarily like stand up for themselves. Although Mars in Cancer, the way that they stand up for themselves is by sort of getting back at you from the sidelines. Mars in Cancer people are more likely to go behind your back and do something that will hurt you that way, and instead of saying things bravely to your face, they're just going to go ahead and very carefully and cautiously consider your weaknesses. And, this is definitely a water sign thing. A Mars in a water sign thing is doing things underhandedly and defending themselves that way. Mars in Cancer temper is very slow building, and you'll never see it coming because, like I said, they don't display their emotions on the surface very readily. That's, of course, again, to protect themselves. So if they're upset or if they're angry, they're definitely going to internalize their emotions and how you've made them feel, be very passive aggressive about it. I'm sure if you've ever looked up Mars and Cancer descriptions, they're all going to say passive aggressive, and this is because they are water. They are Cancer, the sign takes action and directs themselves in a sideways motion. They're never going to attack directly or up front. They're always going to be a little bit shy about it. They're going to be shy about getting what they want. And if they feel like they've been wronged, or when it comes to like taking action or standing up for themselves, they can be a little bit cautious about it and cautious about saying things to your face. And so if they're upset, they're going to be very passive aggressive. They're going to make like little remarks here and there to let you know that you've hurt them, but with hints. If they're ever confronted with something or somebody, um, they can just get very emotional about it rather than using like their logic to stand up for themselves, or like using like a strong standpoint. They're going to be hurt first and foremost. They're going to let their emotions rule them, and kind of like take the wheel as far as like how they're being directed from that point on. They're definitely going to be led by their emotions and their instincts. Mars in Cancer can be quite sensitive. They can use that in a good way to stand up for other people. You know, if not for themselves, they are great at protecting other people and defending other people, especially people who they love. Friends, family, loved ones. Cancer, they're about protecting what feels safe and secure for them. That includes their family, their home, the people that they love, the things that they love. Cancer is all about security and safety. And so if you ever threaten that fortress of safety, whatever that may consist of, whether it's people that they love or things that they love, or their past, their memories, they're going to stand up for that. They're going to defend that, because that's where it hurts. That's where their soft spot is, their weakness is if you go for their family or their friends, or things that they love, things that they hold close to their heart. That's when they're going to get really upset. That's what's really going to affect them. And they can use their sensitivity to stand up for other people, to protect them, and really take the action that's needed. Mars in Cancer can be fiercely protective in that case. Mars in Cancer has a desire to nurture the people around them. They can be motivated by that, by the urge to protect and the urge to nurture. And if they see that somebody needs their care and needs their attention, needs to be like loved and cared for, protected, you know, a Mars in Cancer is going to go straight for that. And that's going to be something that stirs up their desires, and that's their motivating factor. Mars in Cancer has a way of internalizing everything, like I said, that can lead to explosions later on, where all their emotions are just kind of suppressed. Instead of letting it out in a healthy way, in a way that doesn't feel out of control, the way it might feel like when they finally do explode, a Mars in Cancer is more likely going to hold it in, because for the sake of not appearing weak and out of fear of confronting other people and confronting situations head on, a Mars in Cancer is going to like hold it in until they cannot hold it in anymore, and all of the pent up emotion is just going to be let out. And that's when it gets scary. I think with all the Mars in water signs, um, that's how it is a lot of times. It's just Mars doesn't really do well in water signs, because Mars is all about passion. It's about energy and excitement, and you know, it's a fiery red planet. And in water is about going with the flow, and it's very fluid and accepting and just nurturing. It has more of that quality. And so Mars being placed this way, being forced to like submit and follow the emotions, follow the heart, Mars doesn't exactly stand up for itself in that way, and it doesn't exactly pack the punch that it might have in other signs that feel more comfortable with Mars being placed in that sign. A Mars in Cancer sexuality is very loving, and it's very affectionate, and it can take a while for them to warm up, for them to like let loose and feel relaxed with you. They're still going to have their guard up, let's say for the first time in an intimate situation with a specific person. They might feel a little bit closed off, a little bit guarded, a little bit self-protective, just cautious about sleeping with somebody or being intimate with them. Mars in Cancer is most likely going to fall in love when they hook up with another person, because they have their heart involved. Once they let you in, once they like open up their heart to you, their emotions just come flooding out, and they're probably going to mix up love and sex and kind of get them confused, you know, catch feelings on that first date. You know, they don't really do casual intimacy. Their heart is just always going to be involved, you know, whatever the situation is. Mars in Cancer can be turned on by people who love their mom, people who are close to their family, or who like welcome you into their family, and people who kind of like protect the Mars in Cancer person. They can be um, excited by people who show depth, I think, show depth of emotion, who people who aren't afraid to be emotional and to show their vulnerable side. I think a Mars in Cancer sexuality is can be very vulnerable when they are totally relaxed with you and totally like let you in. They're going to show their vulnerable side. This is when they can get hurt because they're putting all their emotions all out on the table when their partner probably isn't. Their partner probably is just in it for the good time, and Mars in Cancer can be a little bit hurt by this. They can, when they find out later on, that their partner wasn't really in it as deeply or as heavily as they were. Because Mars in Cancer is probably going to want to mate for life. They're going to want to know that your heart is as much in it as they are. Mars in Cancer sexuality is just very deep and enveloping, and they're going to want to like cuddle with you afterwards and probably like make a baby with you or something like that. Because Cancer is again like all about nurturing. It's all about like it's the sign of the mother, and I know especially with the women, this can be like a real big turn on for them. Is the idea of getting pregnant, and that's like another thing is that can kind of like maybe scare potential partners away, is just because of that their like seriousness. They're very serious when it comes to sex and intimacy. They can just get too much in their head, too much like too much have too much of their heart involved basically. Mars in Cancer would love romantic sex, I think. Just kind of going slow at first and just like taking their time with it. There's no need to rush. They're not gonna go for those types of encounters that are just kind of like in and out of the bedroom, just like a quick thing that happens, like a quick fling, a one night stand. I guess you could sum it up as just being their sexual style is very sweet and caring and loving. So I think that's about it for Mars in Cancer today. Thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the video so far and if you're enjoying my series, I would really love it if you would like the video and if you would leave a comment letting me know what you think. I love hearing your feedback and replying to you. If you're new, please subscribe to my channel if you're into astrology, and go ahead and follow my Tumblr as well. I'm very active on there, answering questions or sometimes writing my own content when I have time. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again for another Mars sign video.